Hey guys, I'm so excited because today we are going to learn about one of my most favorite artists, Laura Blythman. She is an Australian illustrator and collage artist who works with bright neon colors. Collage is a technique in art where the artist takes pieces of paper or other interesting scraps and glues them down onto a surface. Blythman's work just makes you feel happy when you look at it, and this is the main reason why she's one of my favorite artists. A lot of her works are whimsical fantasy landscapes. A landscape is a type of artwork where the focus is, of course, on the land. Trees, mountains, rivers, and anything you might find outside or in nature. Blythman layers and overlaps the pieces in her work to create depth. Notice all the colors and patterns in Blythman's work. Blythman says, "I'm drawn to color because it just makes me so happy. It never fails to lift my mood. When I'm creating new work, I decide on a color palette first, always." What types of colors make you feel happy? Today we're going to create a Blythman-inspired landscape. I'm using neon tempera paints, but please know that this would also work great with watercolor or even oil pastels. Remember that we need to keep it bright. You rarely see dull or dark colors in Blythman's work. Our first step is easy. Just cover your paper in patches of color. If you want to mix, I recommend only using white to make a pastel color. I usually like to mix directly onto my paper. Just grab a tiny dab of white and mix into whatever color you want to make lighter. Don't forget to wash and dry your brush in between colors so that they don't mix and get muddy. For this next part, choose your background paper. I would suggest something neutral like brown, white, gray, or black so that your painted paper really pops. I'm sprucing mine up with washi tape around the edges. You will also need scissors and some optional paper punches. I'm giving you a reference sheet with a bunch of Blythman-inspired shapes on it, but you can cut out whatever shapes you like for your fantasy landscape. Start to cut out your paper shapes and arrange them before you start gluing down. Remember to overlap some pieces. This gives your artwork depth and makes you look like a super sophisticated artist. The last step is to take a Sharpie and make some final details. Think of what kinds of patterns you could add to your piece. I'm adding stripes, polka dots, and extra raindrops. Before you begin your own, I want you to think about these things. What type of landscape will I create? Lots of trees, water, mountains. What kinds of magical creatures might like to live in my world? What's the weather and how can I show this? What do I want others to feel when they look at my fantasy land? I hope you enjoy creating your own fantasy landscape. Remember to let go of perfection and, most importantly, have fun.